All right, let's get started. Good morning, everyone. Welcome aboard the Rambles. My name is Tony, and we're going to take a look at the Lionel catalog today. So, I'm on the website. It's about quarter of 10 o'clock. The magazine's supposed to drop at 10. So it's not on yet, but what I was thinking is we could go ahead and take a look at some of the offerings that are up on Mr. Muffin's trains. It seems as though Mr. Muffin's dropped the catalog a little bit early. So let's take a look. Actually, let's just double check the home page, see if there's nothing there. Yeah. So yeah, the catalog's definitely not up any longer, or not up yet, rather. All right, Mr. Muffin's trains. If you go onto Mr. Muffin's trains and search L-22, you'll see all of the offerings. Basically, it seems like from the catalog that are up on here. So just kind of perusing this, you know, obviously this isn't the full catalog, but I am actually kind of happy, and I'll tell you why. I don't think I'm gonna buy much from this catalog, which is not true of the last two Lionel catalogs where I pre-ordered quite a bit. So some of the things that I've seen on here are there are loads of Amtrak, for example, which is great, but I kind of already have a lot of the stuff that they're offering. One funny thing that I'll show you is you can tell that these 060s are old MTH tooling, because here, let me open this up. Take a look at this. Interesting. You can see here oh, there it is. Look at this. You can see that they have the connector, the 6-pin connector, it looks like, from MTH here, and then some other connector that they installed after the fact. Now I imagine this is going to get cleaned up with an IR transmitter, but it's still interesting to see that this made it onto some of the artwork that's related to the 2022 catalog. Okay. So let's see if anything's on yet. Still nothing. And the time is 9:50. Looks like we have about 10 minutes. Okay. So back to Mr. Muffin's website. Some of the stuff I'm most excited for, if you search again, L-22 Amtrak. You can see that there's a lot in this catalog coming out from Amtrak. I'm interested in these 44-ton switchers. If you ask me, this looks a lot like semi-scale, and I can pull up here. I have a premier scale Amtrak switcher that I'm gonna pull up on the camera. So if you look at this, right, and then compare it with the Lionel version, the proportions seem completely off to me. So I don't know. Oh, we've got a comment. What's up, Eric Train Man? You're hoping for an undecorated custom run of the 060? You know what? Mr. Muffins does a lot of undecorated runs, so I wouldn't be surprised if he does that. Some of his custom runs for this catalog are up, but you know, I don't know, and I didn't see the 060. Eric, are you excited for anything else in the catalog? It's interesting, the Atlas O catalog, there's a lot of overlap between the two. Of course, they have the scale MTH tooling of the Genesis locomotives. So we got a comment, that's older post-war tooling. What do you... NEC Jersey fan, what are you referring to when you say that? The, oh, are you talking about the switcher, the Amtrak switcher? Well, that's interesting, Eric. So, are you asking for a an undecorated 060 in black? I still wouldn't be surprised if he did it. He did the consolidations in black. Let's go back over to that website. So what I was saying is there's a lot of overlap between the Atlas O catalog and the Lionel catalog. I can't help but think that Atlas wanted to get out ahead of this if for some reason they had gotten word of what was going to be in this catalog. Now obviously I don't know that to be the case, but it's just interesting because of course you have the Amfleet cars too. I don't know if they're up yet. Like these Amfleet cars, they're offered in the Atlas O catalog, and it's just interesting to see that overlap. Thanks, NEC Jersey fan. I think that's really helpful. The Amtrak switchers, post-war Lionel tooling. That's cool that Lionel's still using old tooling like that, you know? Eric, what decals would you put on your undecorated 060? All right, so time is 9:55. We still don't have the catalog up yet. It's supposed to be up at 10 if Rutland, nice. If the catalog isn't up at 10 or a few minutes after, we'll see where we go from there. But let's head back over to the Atlas O. I'm sorry, the Mr. Muffins catalog. Oh, interesting. On the homepage of Lionel, they don't have the old catalog up yet, so it must be coming soon. Sometimes what I do is I will click on the catalog from previous years and change this to this year. No luck. Okay. Yeah, Jersey Rail fan. I was really hoping for that too because my understanding is with those HP8s that they're using them as cab cars right now, or as cabs, I guess you would say, without the pantographs. They removed the pantographs, and so I would like to see it, both in the HHP8 in its original form, but also as Amtrak is using it today. I think that would be really neat. I mean, they have the tolling. Maybe they don't think it's going to be that popular. I don't know how well it's done in the past, but I think you make an excellent point. I would have liked to have seen that. Okay, looks like we are live. The big book is up, or not. Okay, it's kind of up. It's kind of not up. That's funny. We're watching this happen live in 8. Okay, here we are. All right, folks, welcome to the brand new 2022 catalog. This is my first look. Obviously, it's 9:58 on January the 14th, and let's see if what effect this will have on my wallet. All right, so it looks like, yeah, we know what the Bluetooth app does, and they start off with the Base 3 and Cab 3 app. Okay, so this obviously was leaked previously, and they talk about the 4-digit addressing. I think that's a great addition. Now I don't know, maybe folks on the stream know if we will be able to use the remote. We've got a video. All right, let's check this out. Hold on. Let me just turn the music off. Let's go back here, and we'll turn this desktop audio on.
For nearly 3 decades, Lionel has led the industry in remote-controlled trains. This evolution meant enthusiasts were no longer tied to standing at a stationary power supply to adjust train speed or activate sounds. Instead, the operator was free to walk around the layout while having full control of their railroad empire. In 1995, Trainmaster Command Control, or TMCC, was introduced, allowing users to control trains wirelessly. This system brought many new innovations to Lionel trains, including additional sound features, train lash-ups, electrocouplers, and more. Then, in 2006, the legacy system was brought to life, greatly expanding upon TMCC with finer speed control, additional sound and lighting options, and a more intuitive handheld remote, giving the user feedback as to what was going on with their trains. Now, in 2022, Lionel is proud to introduce the next evolution of model train command control, the Lionel Base 3 and the Cab 3 smartphone app. The Base 3 brings control of all Lionel engines into one controller, bridging the gap between Legacy and Lion Chief. Now by using the Base 3, you'll be able to control any Legacy, TMCC, Lion Chief Plus 2.0, Lion Chief Plus, Lion Chief, or Flyer Chief locomotive using the controller of your choice. The Base 3 can interface with the Cab 1L or Cab 2 remotes, or using its built-in Wi-Fi, can interface with the all-new Cab 3 app for Android or iOS smart devices. Thank you for watching this video on our new train control technology. Lionel is proud.
All right, I am very excited by that. I was concerned that you wouldn't be able to use the remote. I didn't look into the leaks too much because you never know how accurate that's going to be. Turn my volume down here. So I'm really glad to see that the remote will work. And Jersey Rail fan, I totally agree with you. I think this thing looks really sleek. Most of the time, I put my power for the layout underneath, but this is something, I might want front and center with my remotes just because that bridge design is, I think, really, really cool. So, all right. Okay, I'll go back on my own and look at the Cab 3. Obviously, that's kind of big announcement today. But we'll take a look. Okay. Maddie C, really cool. Yeah, that's a great point. It is a lot smaller than it looked in the leak. Let the cab 3 be part of the layout. 100%, 100%. So I pointed this out earlier in the stream, but I don't know how many people saw it. This is kind of amazing. So this is obviously old MTH tooling here. You can see the 6-pin connector along with some Lionel modifications. They must be still working on these locomotives, these 060s. In the chat, Eric Trainman had asked earlier for an undecorated 060. Hopefully for him, he'll be getting that. But I still think it's funny. All right, let's look at the Vision Line Class A. For me, the biggest shock about this particular locomotive is the price, and not in a bad way. At $2,099, I was expecting it to be $300 or $400 more than that MSRP, just with the way things have been going. So to see it at $2,099, I think was a positive surprise. If you go on Mr. Muffin's, as a lot of us were on last night, you would have seen that it's going on there for I think $18.99. I don't know that I'll be pulling the trigger on one of these Class A's. I might regret it down the line. Eric Trainman said the 060 details say that it's a tethered drawbar. Yeah, I imagine that's going to be the infrared tether, right? That's like with what Lionel does with everything else. All right, let's just look at these features here. A lot of these were, revealed at York this year, and many of us saw this up close and personal with the 3D printed model that they had there. 054 minimum curve. That's pretty cool. I wasn't expecting that either, but I guess I wasn't really paying that close attention. Of course, whistle steam and fan-driven spoke unit. I'm gonna move on from the Class A's. Vision Line horse cars. Okay, I can't remember the last time Lionel did a. Oh, Eric, thank you so much for clarifying. It's not wireless; it's tethered. Okay. Be interested to see that when it comes out. I'll have to go and look at the B6 that you mentioned. Now, these horse cars I think are really cool, and being that they're Vision Line, I think that's going to be a really neat, well made model. Again, 054 curves, and they have the kinematic couplers. So, I did see this yesterday. Maddie says it's not a true horse car. Hey, welcome, Maddie C. It's great to have you on this stream. I really appreciate you having me here, as well as everyone else who's on. But Maddie C was an early supporter, watching my videos, so thank you so much for being on. I want to point out the Polar Express Reindeer Express Agency horse car. I thought that's pretty neat. I don't do the Polar Express thing yet, but maybe someday I'll get a Reindeer Express. Horse car. I don't know. New Vision Line stock cars. I'm just not in the market for rolling stock right now. I don't know how you guys feel, but I have so much rolling stock, and I need to focus on building up my layout more before I get any more rolling stock. Moving on to Legacy Steam. Okay. We have some Legacy 210-4s. It's brand new tooling. I wonder if... Now, the minimum curve on these guys is 072. What do you guys think of the 210-4s? You gonna pick one up? The Pennsylvania one looks really nice to me. I don't have any Pennsylvania steamers. I might hold out for like a K4 or something. But this is really sharp looking. Huh. All right. All right. Looks like we have some scale Berkshires here. So it's interesting. It looks as though they have different tooling for the different locomotives. I think that's awesome that Lionel is getting into really customizing each model to the road name. They did that with the GP30s, I think it was, as well as with the those SW 1800s or whatever that switcher was that came out very recently, that diesel switcher. Okay. Here we have the Atlantic, all new product. I'm assuming that means that it was an MTH product previously, meaning that it's new to Lionel. All right, so the price on these is $8.99. I wonder how much they would be at the hobby shop, maybe $7.50 or something. These come in close to what those 10-wheelers were. Not a horrible deal. You know, it's still a little bit more expensive than some of those other steamers that Lionel did. 031 curves. That's nice for smaller layouts. I like it that they do that. 18.5 inches. Okay. Huh. So here we have the 060s. This is what I was talking about earlier, that previous MTH tooling. This artwork still cracks me up. $7.99. It seems like a good deal. This Bethlehem Steel stuff really cracks me up because there really weren't that many steam locomotives that had Bethlehem Steel artwork like this. It was a completely different railroad that Bethlehem Steel owned and operated, and so I think it was called New England and Philadelphia, something like that. So it's interesting that Lionel's leaning hard into those Bethlehem Steel switchers. I do buy quite a bit of Strasbourg. I don't know if I'll get these, this one or not. We'll see. They're built to order, so that means, you know what that means. Make sure you get your orders in, because if not enough of these are ordered, then they probably won't get made in the road name that you want them in. So get those pre-orders in. I like these little 040s. Okay, Matty C says he's in talks with Mr. Muffins of doing a more accurate Strasbourg 31 with the correct tender. Slim chance they can do it. All right, fingers crossed, Matty C. If you get that done, I will pre-order it. Okay, so that's, add one more to the orders at Mr. Muffins if you get that done. So I did see this on Mr. Muffins' website last night. This is the these are 040s. I think the price is really kind of shocking on these. Now I get it. Okay, it's legacy, right? $6.99 is probably a pretty good price. You'll get it for $5 something from your dealer. But these, remind me very much of those 060s that Lionel put out last year or the year before, and it seems like, it could have been a really neat little locomotive for your layout, but at that price, I don't know. I mean, I get it. That supply chain and shipping costs are up really high right now, but this $6.99 seems like a pretty steep price to pay for these little guys. It's got fan-driven smoke, the wireless drawbar, front and rear electric couplers. Oh, that's interesting. Now that's kind of cool that there's electrocouplers in the front and back, but the 060s were the same thing. And the 060 had a fan-driven smoke unit, and the 060 was scale in proportion. I guess you just get all those extra control features. So Eric Trainman says that these are less detailed K-line tooling, not the MTH Premier tooling with way more detail. Yeah, I don't know. Interesting choice. We'll see how these sell. They're cool looking, but I just don't know at that price if I'll be purchasing one. Legacy diesels. I will say I have one of those Reading and Northern GP30s. I think, like I said, I can't remember what it was exactly. The diesels at Lionel, these legacy diesels that they're putting out, are well worth the money. The volume that these things, pump out, the sounds are just amazing. I just think that I am very much pro legacy diesels these days. So we'll see if I wind up purchasing one. We'll see what custom runs are out there too on these RS27s. So what do we got here? 031 curves, 14 and 7/8 inches. New tooling. Okay. Yeah, these are very tempting. Now I'm assuming there's fan-driven smoke units, but it doesn't say. I'm not going to complain about the price. I'm not going to complain about the price on these RS27s. $599 doesn't sound that horrible to me, given what you get. Okay, SW1 switchers. These are really neat. So what is the length on these? They're just over a foot long. Okay. Fixed pilots, legacy rail sounds. So they looked smaller in the pictures on Mr. Muffin's website. But I guess if you're going from the end of the coupler to the other end, that makes sense. I'm imagining when they say all wheels are driven, that means these have the same setup with the drive shafts and the single motor that we saw in the switchers that just recently came out. If I do put an order in for one of these, I'm gonna go with the Conrail, or maybe the Baltimore and Ohio. $549. It's very much possible, but it's not definite for me. Okay, these ES44 ACs, these look awesome. These look really, really cool. So non-powered for $400, powered for $700. A lot of people on the OGR forum were talking about how these paint schemes support the troops, and I think it's really, really awesome that folks that Lionel did that, and folks are feeling really, supported from that. I think that's really cool to see. So for me, 054 curves, 19 inches long. It'll be interesting to see how the kinematic pilots work with these. But those pilots do look really nice on there. I think, yeah, like these could be worth the pre-order. I'll have to look. SD40s classic. I'm not seeing anything that I'm too interested with in these SD40s. 054 curves. I applaud Lionel for their kinematic pilots. I think that's a really neat innovation in the hobby. But these pilots don't look quite as good as the other ones, so I wonder what they'll wind up looking like when they come out. Okay, SD90s. 036 curves for a 21 1/4 inch locomotive. That's pretty cool. That's nice for the layout. Looking at 649 and 399. I might reach out and try and do a custom run of some of these diesels with my local hobby shop. I have some ideas, but we'll see. I'm gonna skip through here. All right, the F40PH. So I was talking about this earlier too. It seems like kind of coincidental that Atlas got ahead of Lionel on this one. Be interesting to know. I mean, obviously, we probably would never know if Atlas got some inside information that these were coming out. But if I'm gonna be honest, you got $629.99 MSRP for these FP40s. Let's look at the MSRP for the Atlas ones. I think I passed them. Okay. Here are the Atlas ones. Ah, man, I don't know, guys. What do you think? Atlas has FP40s. You can pre-order them right now. They're $619.95, and these are old MTH tooling. So what do you go with? Do you go with Atlas at $619.99, or do you go with the or do you go with Lionel? I think for me, I'm gonna probably wind up going with Atlas on this one. You have to wonder if the Atlas catalog affected the price at all on these two. If Atlas hadn't released theirs for $619 MSRP, who knows what Lionel would have charged? Interesting. See, that's why you need competition in these marketplaces. Okay. Huh. I think it's kind of interesting how they just describe these as Amtrak passenger cars, but doesn't say what they were modeled on. I don't know if other people think that is strange or not. But here again, okay, so we have, let's compare this to Atlas. We have a 2-pack of these Amtrak passenger cars, and that is, it looks like $449.99. If we go back over here to Atlas's, their 2-pack. Okay, they're not doing 2-packs. They charge per car $150. So you can get 2 of these Atlas. Oh, I mean, obviously pre-orders have ended on these, but you can get 2 of these Atlas 03 scale Horizon cars, which I have one right here. These are super nice. These are really great cars, and Atlas has them MSRP at a lower price than Lionel. I mean, obviously you got to find out what your hobby shop is going to charge, but I don't know. Interesting. Non-powered. Oh, okay. Now this is kind of neat. Maybe you go with one of these. So non-powered Legacy. Maybe you go with one of these, and man, that price though, $499 for a non-powered locomotive. That's kind of steep. Well, we'll see. This is on the maybe list for me. All right, got some F7s. Oh, those Lehigh Valley F7s look nice. An AA set. So both AAs are powered in these. This is an all new product. I'm wondering if these are also MTH. They look like they could be. They look like they could be MTH, but I don't know. Many of you might know better than I do. But these Atlas or these Lehigh Valleys, these look very nice. $11.99 is kind of tough to pull the trigger on now. Now I'm anticipating. Whoa, that is very, very pink. I'm not familiar with the Aberdeen, Carolina, and Western. But that is a very unique set of engines you got there. I think this is a definite pre-order here. The Reading and Northern F7s, AB units. I don't have a Super Base B unit yet, so I'm definitely going to be placing an order for one of these. So I'll definitely be doing that. Okay, $15.99 for an ore train set. And if you're just getting into the hobby and you need some rolling stock along with your locomotive, that's probably not a bad deal. How many cars do you got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's a lot of ore cars. And they're charging, Lionel's charging $199 each for those. So I don't know. That seems like it could be a good deal. Not for me though. Union Pacific rocket booster set. This is interesting. So the whole set altogether is $16.99. So you can get the rocket booster train. Oh, and underneath all of these, there's a different component. That's kind of cool. I don't know. On this one. $1,700. I don't collect a lot of UP, but I do like the space stuff. So I don't know about this one. We'll have to see. That's a maybe. So this is cool. You have the Black River excursion set. I'm wondering if this is much like the sets that they did for I'm wondering if this is much like the set they did for the New Hope and Ivyland, where you have a local branch line excursion. I'm not familiar with the Black River, but I think it's really cool that these smaller rail lines get some attention from Lionel. I'm a fan. All right, we have these old MTH Woodside coaches back from the last catalog, just with new paint schemes on them. Let's see how much the price is on these. $449.99. I don't recall how much they were on the in this volume 2. Let's see. $399.99. Okay, so these went up in price by $50. I gotta say I'm glad I pre-ordered my Strasbourg coaches when I did, you know, because that adds up quick. Coil cars, I imagine JD Stux would be excited by this. I'm fairly certain that that Jason collects the steel coil cars, so that's pretty cool. Maybe I'll get one in honor of Jason. Huge fan. All right, I'm definitely gonna get one of these graffiti Bethlehem steel coaches. It looks like they have two different. Oh no, this is the second side. Yeah, I like the graffiti because I model a lot of contemporary. So I think I'll be picking up one of those for sure. Definitely gonna be getting the Bethlehem steel graffiti car. All right, we have some intermodals. I have a whole set of Atlas intermodals in this CSX model, in this CNX scheme here. They are super nice. So I'm not really in the market for intermodals at this point, and at that price, you know, it might be worth letting the price cool off a little bit before purchasing these. My understanding is that Lionel is gonna perhaps lower the prices a little bit later on when the shipping gets straightened out. That being said, because I have these CSX intermodals already, I think that this right here would be an excellent addition. And these, yeah, I'll definitely be going for one of those graffiti ones. This is a big catalog. I'm impressed. I'm definitely impressed, Lionel. You guys put a lot into this book. There's quite a bit in here. I'm gonna breeze through the rolling stock for the most part. These bobber cabooses, you know, I'm pretty sure I bought my. I think this is MTH tooling. And I got mine from Nick Smith's Trains for I think like $80 a year or two ago. It was a Strasbourg bobber. So the price actually, if you get it at your local hobby shop, might not be too bad. Might not be too off from what it was before. These are some really nice gondolas, or as other people might say, gondolas. Again, I'm just not in the market for rolling stock right now. All right, now we're getting back into traditional O. All right, let's see what they got. I don't usually buy traditional models because I try to model scale as much as possible. That being said, if there is a particular if there's a particular set that I would like, you know, I'll get it. Okay, I'm gonna bring up my train camera here so that we can take a look at this. This is the Reading and Northern 425 Pacific. Now this is scale, right? So if we take a look at the model here, you can see the difference that the you know, traditional line is. That coal tender is pretty far off. You know, take a look at that, you know, versus yeah, I don't know. Here, let me go ahead and bring cam on. So those, you know, that, I guess it's an old, let's Let's take a look at this, actually. Okay, so I mean, I think it's nice for folks who collect traditional. I think these are nice. These look very classic. With fan-driven smoke, rear electric coupler, 031 curves. Yeah, I guess you really can't complain. So I'm wondering, are those just Hudsons, but they're calling them Pacifics? I mean, that's almost what it looks like, but. Huh, that's interesting. I wonder how it would be, Huh, okay. We got new paint schemes for the Genesis. Be cool to see what the remote looks like on those. Price comes in at $549 for these. Let's see what they were in the last catalog. This might, create an interesting scenario where you could pre-order a Lionel. You could pre-order a Lionel locomotive and pay more for the pre-order than what's gonna come in. So let's see. Okay, here we have the Genesis locomotives, and they were $449 in the last catalog. And in this catalog, they're $549. What? $100 more just from 6 months to now. Yeah. Anybody who wants one of these, I guess the paint schemes are different, but anybody who wants one of these traditional Genesis locomotives, you probably want to get one from the previous catalog. That is, unless you don't want these paint schemes. I don't know. Tough call. Alright, so let's take a look at these coaches. You get an Amfleet cab car, which is nice. But these Amfleets don't really... I don't know. These Amfleets, they don't even really look like Amfleets. I get that this is traditional, but it's those windows seem way off. I don't know. I really wanted to pick up one of these sets. Let's see what the set includes. I wanted to pick up one of these sets for a buddy. This set does not even include track or anything at $1,000. I was expecting these to be like a starter set. That's kind of tough. They're gonna run on 031. That's interesting. Okay. So the coach car here says it runs on 036. But if you go back to this set, it says 031. I don't know. I'm sure it would run on both 031 and 036. Alright. I'm kind of going to breeze through these. Good to see Thomas is making a comeback. Removable roofs on coaches. That's kind of cool. I think that might be new. Hogwarts is I don't really do the Halloween thing, but I think Lionel does a nice job, you know, if we're into it. So sorry for fans of the traditional sets, I'm just gonna run through them. Nice to see some new offerings here. Some old favorites. Okay, here are those 44 tonners. Now, someone in the chat earlier said that these were old I think K-line traditional tooling. But yeah, kind of cool. This is funny, the trippy trolley. You know, I've had nothing but issues with my bump and go trolleys from Lionel, so I kind of stay away from them. But it'd be kind of cool to see that one on the track. That's one of the ones you bring out, you know, for fun every once in a while, and surprise people that you have one. Okay. Lots of Polar Express in here. What I'm not seeing is scale Polar Express. I don't know if that would be in this section or not, but it would have been really nice to get a scale Polar Express. Maybe in the next catalog. But that really wouldn't make a whole lot of sense because this is the stuff that you're going to order and get it by Christmas. Alright, moving into the accessories. I'm not a huge fan of Lionel accessories. But this Colin car seems pretty neat. Okay, your coaling station. Sofa King mattress. Funny. Alright, overall I would say that this was a really neat catalog that Lionel put out. A definite pre-order on those Reading and Northern F7s AB unit. Maybe on the Lehigh Valley, and probably get that Conrail switcher, but that's more or less it at this point. So yeah, pretty exciting stuff. As far as the cab 3, we will see. I think that price, if I recall, it was, you know, fairly expensive. Let's go back to that cab 3. Lot to look over here. Interestingly, they're not selling the Cab 2 remote, but the Cab 2 is going to work with the base 3. Interesting. I think it's interesting. Maybe it's because they can't get chips right now, so it's hard to make the remotes. $4.99 for this guy. Let's see what kind of USB port they put on here. Why on earth would they put a micro USB on this Cab 3? That makes no sense to me. USB 3, come on, get with the times. You're releasing a product and it's already outdated. I don't know. So alright, I'm a hardcore maybe on the base 3. I think I gotta get it, but we shall see. With that, alright, let me go ahead and put on new background. All right. Everybody, thank you so much for joining me for this live stream. Those are my first impressions. You know, there's some good and some not so good. But overall, it's a very impressive catalog. I think that Lionel did a really great job curating this one. Fortunately, I don't think it's going to impact my wallet so much. But, you know, you tend to sleep on these things and then realize you want something. And once you get a few items, they really add up. So make sure you subscribe to my channel so you can take a look at these things when they come in. And again, I want to thank you for watching. Everybody have a great weekend.